All right. Let's get this show on the road. Wednesday. Siri, stop bugging me.
Something's wrong.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. U.S. Open update. Carlos Alcaraz just won set number 1 in the quarters against Zverev, I think it is. Ted looks at life. What's happening? Silver Fox, welcome. Welcome. Oh, I'm a little stiff, a little tight. I had a crappy day. Had a whiskey after dinner. I've pre-whiskied. Now I'm back to coffee. Welcome everyone. We'll get started here in a minute. Silver Fox shared the live, and TikTok is telling me. Wait, I was just flying by the page and you were live. Yeah, I just went live. Silver Fox, just happened. I waited for Alcaraz to win the first set of the Open tonight. All right, let's see. 8:03, getting rolling. It's cool here. Welcome. This is the AI Learning Lab, as evidenced by the groovy sign. These groovy signs were made courtesy of a new sweet image generation tool called Ideogram. If you haven't seen it, you should go see it. It does letters. Like Janky. If you want a sign that says Janky piece of shit, you can have it. Oh, yeah. Nancy, welcome. Ted's here. Travel Lovers Escape. I like it. Tobias, what's happening, man? You got into the Irregulars channel on Discord, right? You had the role. So hopefully you're in there. All right. I'm a little stuffy. Had a crappy day. Had a whiskey. Today was weird, man. Everything was weird. Started out the morning on a meeting where we showed up and there were a bunch of people on the meeting and we weren't supposed to be there. It was a rescheduled meeting. It somehow ended up on my calendar as if I made the meeting. Someone screwed something up. But I mean, not any of the people. Some technology screwed up. It was just bizarre. And then the whole day was just off like that. Just crap was weird. Anyone else have janky, weird-ass crap going on? We've got like 7 planets in retrograde or some crap like that. So the universe is not really happy right now. So Farmer should be rolling into Denver in an hour or so. Oh, cool, Tobias. Very, very cool. Hey, everyone. Hey, Winston. What's happening? Got into the group. Awesome. Terrific. Welcome, everybody. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. There we go. That's a good one. We'll go with that one. It's good and clear. So what we do here is my background. I'm an entrepreneur and a founder and CEO of a video. Wait, Kyle, did you get a ditopic problem too? I don't know what a ditopic problem is. Possibly. I have many problems. Ditopic is probably one of them. Dr. J, hey, Irregulars, what's happening? Okay, so here's what we do here. I'll answer questions about AI. We talk about AI. I make voices. We have fun. I cuss occasionally. I'm a little salty. I'm a little bitter. I'm a Gen Xer. We don't, rules and us don't really get along. So I do what I do. If you don't like that kind of thing, I'd move on. Some call it tacky. Others call it refreshingly honest. Yeah. But if you've never tried ChatGPT before, first thing we do here is kind of go over some like, where do you start? If you're trying to figure this stuff out, where do you start? Well, you start right there. Wait, let me flip these. Put myself in the box. Nobody puts baby in the corner. All right. So these things, This is like my little list of, everyone's got their what's best, what's best. This isn't necessarily what's best. I suppose it is what's best, but it's like, where do you get started with this AI shit? Everyone's talking about AI. What are you supposed to do? Well, if you're brand new to it, if you haven't played with ChatGPT, just go right there. Go there right now. Chat.openai.com. I think you have to sign up, get an account or whatever, but it's free. And you can pay $20 a month to get the fancy shit, but the base one, the ChatGPT 3.5 is really good. So just go there and just start playing. Just start putting stuff in while you listen to me ramble. And then you can also play with Claude and Bard. If you have played with this stuff before, this top 3 list, these are kind of the 3 that I bounce between. I actually today, what was I trying to do? I was trying to get, I'm giving an hour-long talk at a policy center at the University of Colorado. And I don't know crap about policy. So I'm trying to get these large language models to prepare me in, like, what do I need to know about policy? And what are people doing? And what are some articles that people have written? And so ChatGPT is not connected to the internet. Claude's not connected to the internet. Bard is connected to the internet. But it would give me the names of articles, but it wouldn't link to them. It said, well, I'm sorry, I can't do that. So then I went to Bing, which is also connected to the internet, and it gave me links to articles, but like the name of the articles were wrong, and it linked me to different articles. It was just bizarre. It was just, nothing was helping today. So I just gave up. I just said, screw it. So I'll just make shit up. I don't need actual research. Bing is ChatGPT as well. That's Microsoft's version of it. It can also make images for free. It's free. The safety guardrails on Bing are a little annoying, as are Bard, I found out today. Perplexity.ai is actually a good site that's connected to the internet as well. And labs.perplexity lets you play with Meta's new Llama 2 models and their Code Llama model. And then Pi is Chatty GPT. If you want to talk to one of these AI tools, like a robot in a science fiction movie, go download the Pi app and put it in voice mode. It's insane. If you want to get shit done, don't use Pi because it's too chatty. But if you want to talk to something, it's actually really interesting. And then Poe's worth exploring as well. The other thing that people always ask about is, what about pictures? How do I make pictures, Kyle? I don't know how to make pictures, Kyle. I want to make pretty pictures, Kyle. How do you do it? How do you do it? What do you do? How do you do it? You just put in text and then it makes a picture? What do you do? How do you do it? Okay, these are them. These are the ones. Ideogram, I'd start with Ideogram right now because it can do text. So it can do all of these images that I show here with images and words. These were all done in Ideogram. You can't do this in Midjourney. Midjourney's the best from a quality perspective, but it can't do text. ClipDrop and Leonardo are also really good. They're based on stable diffusion. So Midjourney's its own thing. Ideogram's its own thing. Stable diffusion is a whole ecosystem of crap. Here's 2 places to start. Leonardo's a really cool website on top of stable diffusion. And did he just break him? Yes, no, he didn't. Leonardo is just a cool website in front of Stable Diffusion, and ClipDrop is from Stability AI, the people that make Stable Diffusion. So it's a bunch of cool tools from them. All of those are worth playing with, and just start. Here's my advice if you're just getting started with this stuff. Just start playing. Just get curious. Just start playing. You can't break it. You'll find happy accidents. At some point, you'll stumble into something where it will blow your mind, and you'll have your Kevin McAllister moment, your Home Alone moment, where you're like, holy shit, I didn't know they could do that. If you're not quite what to do in these image things, openart.ai/prompt book will teach you how to talk to the image generation tools. So just like prompts.chat does for these things, I don't think I talked about that before. Prompts.chat will teach you how to talk to the large language models, and prompt book at openart.ai will teach you how to talk to the image models. And then futurepedia.io is a big directory of sites, of AI tools. Okay, now, AI Learning Lab, very popular place. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm very, very famous. And I'm so famous that we have a scammer. We have a scammer that copied the channel name and put an extra L in it because it's really hard to see if there's 1 or 2 L's in it. So AI Learning Lab with one L, that's me. AI Learning Lab with two L's, that's the asshole that's probably on this live right now waiting for it to be over so he can reach out to you and ask you to buy some of his shitty crypto stuff. So don't buy his shitty crypto stuff. It's shitty crypto, and it's a scam. And fuck him. So if you want to report him, I would appreciate that. You can report him for copyright violation. You can report him from impersonating a celebrity like me. I'm famous. I look like Rosie O'Donnell. I look like fat Alec Baldwin. I look like Tom Arnold, I've been told. And some other guy related to Roseanne. And there's a lot of people. I'm nearly famous. I'm so close. I'm this close to being famous. So you can report him for that. You can just report him. I'm pretty sure TikTok has he's an asshole. So you can just report him for being an asshole. All right? Fantastic. Go fuck yourself, scammer. Okay. Moving on. So if you have questions about AI, pop them in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them. I promise you, I will get behind on the comments. So much so that you're just going to be like, he's not even real. He hasn't answered any of my questions. I've been in here for 45 minutes. It's not possible. Oh, it's possible. Sometimes someone will ask me a question. I go down a rabbit hole. We're down the rabbit hole for a while, and then I answer the next question, and then I'm 99 questions behind. So, yeah. All right. So, let's do this. Let's get rolling. Let's get rolling. Let's get singing. Let's get dancing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm sounding like Bob Dylan in the 60s. Yeah, yeah. You're like, is he touched? Oh, I'm touched. Okay. Let's see. Got into groups. I'm the creator of Janky. Ted looks at life. Took me a while to get ideogram to recognize the word. Yeah, thank you, Ted. I am a big fan of the Janky graphic, and I used it last night for the first time. And well, you know what? Let's use it again now. So here's the thing. I just spent 10 minutes telling you about all these cool tools, right? Like ChatGPT is amazing and awesome, and Claude and Bard and all of them. And you can go learn how to talk to them at prompts.chat. All of these things are janky pieces of shit. So you need to know that. What's that mean, Kyle? Well, they hallucinate, which is the engineers. Thank you for that. The engineers, rather than saying they lie, came up with this term. They hallucinate. Well. So when you get answers from ChatGPT, check them. If it gives you a link to a citation for an article, click on it. See if it goes anywhere. There's a good chance it won't. Now, there's ways that you can make it better and do that less, but just know that happens. Sometimes these things are brilliant to the point that they melt your face off. Sometimes these things are frustrating to the point that you're like, really? So they're completely useless? More the former than the latter, but just know that. They're all kind of... And here's the deal. It's not that any of the development teams behind these are bad. Like, the underlying technology under these things is fucking magic. It's just fucking magic. But we're very, very new. ChatGPT, as much as everyone's been talking about AI, ChatGPT came out November 30th of last year. So it hasn't even been a year since ChatGPT's been out. So all of these tools are very, very new. They're very raw. And that's why they're a little janky. And that's why I have the janky graphic. They're just janky pieces of shit. So just know that. And still learn them. Still learn to play with them and do all that happy stuff. So, all right. Let's get rolling. The irregulars are coming in. By the way, there's a gang in here. There's a little gang in the AI Learning Lab where people come in here every night and they call themselves the irregulars. Don't mess with them. They're not normal. They are irregular. So you might see lots of hearts going up. That's not because they love me. That's because they've got a side game going. They got some sort of bet with themselves. and that's what's happening there. But they're awesome, and actually they do a lot of help. So as I get behind answering these questions, if you have questions, a lot of times the irregulars will answer questions and say things like, "He'll get to your question eventually, there, Betty. He tries to answer them all, but he's old, he's old." So they support me like that. Being the king of the kids table, it's so true. Bing is at the kids table, and I thought I might, because I got so frustrated with Bard today, I almost moved Bard back to the kids table and Bing back to the grown-ups table, but no, Bing stayed here. It frustrated the shit out of me again today. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? These tools, what are they? Come on, people. Janky pieces of shit. Exactly. All right. Let's get some graphics going here. Let's see which graphic are we going to use. I think I'm going to use that one because it just looks, I don't know, it looks like the future. It looks like the future right next to my head. There's a little glow. All right. See your YouTube live conferences. For students and others, you give an awesome... Oh, you saw my YouTube live conference for students and others. You give a great presentation. Oh, thank you very much. I assume you mean the... I did a talk for Creative Mornings. Was it that one? Where I talk about all this stuff? Yeah, that was a fun talk, and it was very well received. So thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Kyle, which browser do you use? I'm using Edge. So here's the deal. I've been an Apple fanboy since the Apple II, like before the Mac was around. I have hated Microsoft with a passion for decades. I've been a Microsoft basher. If you had bet me $1,000 a year ago that my default search engine would be Bing and my default browser would be Edge, I would have laughed in your face and bet you the $1,000. And yet, here we are. My default search engine is Bing, and my default browser is Edge. Now, is it great? It's good, except it's got such memory problems that I have to, like, it fucking tanks my computer about every third day. And Chrome only did that like once every 3 weeks. So it's got, it leaks like a sieve. But it's got some slick things to it, and it's just the integration of all the ChatGPT shit is actually just kind of nice. And I wanted to experience what it was like to play with something that was that integrated, and it, it's interesting. It's good. I actually kind of like Bing as a search engine. It's fine. I like being able to just flip into ChatGPT mode. I mean, most of the times when I go to Bing, I go immediately into chat. I don't really use search engines anymore. I don't like them. I can't stand them. They're just also SEO injected. They're just awful. I just want the answer. I would rather wait for GPT-4 to slowly give me the wrong answer 4 times in a row than Google to give me a really quick response of shitty links that I have to go sift through, right? And the first 10 are just, SEO garbage sites, or they have so many ads in them that you literally can't find the content. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll wait. I'll wait. At this point, I'm so pissed off at the state of search and the state of the art that sometimes now I just go to the large language models just out of spite. Yeah, fuck Google. But it's interesting times. Interesting times. Were you one of Jerry's kids? Yes, I am. So RJ, I met Jerry Mikulski. So Jerry's kids. Jerry Mikulski is a remarkable human being. He's one of the most networked human beings I know. Really smart, really passionate. And I met him when he was the editor, or whatever his role was, managing editor of Esther Dyson's Release 1.0. And then he started this thing called Jerry's Retreat, where he invited people that he had interesting conversations with to this 3-day retreat. And that's where I met my co-founder, Monique. So RJ, my company Storyvine, I founded it with Monique, who I met at Jerry's retreat, and our senior advisor is a guy named Kevin Clark, who I met at Jerry's retreat. So yeah, so I am one of Jerry's kids, and that's a remarkable community. And I I feel bad. About 2 years ago, I got all hype. I got all like crack addicted to blockchain and NFTs, and I told all of Jerry's kids, "Oh, NFTs are going to be the big thing. Blockchain's going to be the big thing." And then it kind of shit the bed, appropriately so. And then I did the same thing with AI. But AI is actually going to change the world, and it's going to do it in a profound way. So that's why this channel exists. But anyway, yeah. What's your name? Pop it in the comments. That's very cool. Do Kyle or anyone know the best image API to work with programmatically? Well, you can use Stable Diffusion's got one, but it's open source, so you got to find a place where it's hosted or host your own. Probably the easiest one is the DALL-E API, because you can just use it like if you use Zapier automations and you use the OpenAI widget within Zapier, you can just make an image call or a ChatGPT call, like a GPT call, and it'll make images for you. And then Midjourney does not have an API yet, and I don't think any of the Adobe stuff does. There's probably something else out there, but I forget. But I think the easiest is probably just the DALL-E one within OpenAI. That said, DALL-E sucks. Like, it's just not as good. Like Midjourney's really good. I know that there's I'm working with a group that's working on doing some stuff with images, and I know that someone just came out with it's a tool that's got an API where you can generate Midjourney images, but I think what they're doing is actually scraping a Discord server with a Midjourney channel in it, and then sort of passing the shit to their API. So it's kind of a fake API, but the problem with that is they're going to charge you $30 or whatever. You're going to build an application on it, and then Midjourney's going to go, fuck anyone who's scraping our thing. They're going to change their service, and then that thing's going to break. So I would love for Midjourney to have an API, but it doesn't look like they really give too much of a shit right there. I can locate Google teapots for Midjourney. Do you want me to find those? They're hard to find. What did I just do? Oh, I see. Hang on. So what Toe Dance, by the way, Toe Dance, good name. I like the name. 9.5 out of 10 on the name. Dancer? You a ballet dancer? That kind of toe dance? The teapots for Midjourney and Stable Diffusion. Let me see if I can go find that. So what Toe Dance is referring to is this really amazing resource that shows you the power of these tools. What was it called? Something teapot. Let's just say teapot Midjourney. Let's see. Teapot sets by Midjourney. Is this it? No. Teapot Midjourney reference. I know I have it linked somewhere. I can't remember what I did with it, though. In one of my videos in my TikTok is a thing that talks about the teapots. Well, I'll keep looking. I don't wanna waste a ton of time. I'm a little teapot mid-journey. Is this it? I spent 40 hours of my life on this. No. I don't know. What it is someone took a prompt of just a specific kind of teapot. I forget what it's called, or I could find it. And then they applied all these different styles to it, like in the style of Rembrandt, in the style of Dali, in the style of whatever. You know, watercolor, oil painting, you know, acrylic, things like that. And it's so this single prompt, and it's just a spreadsheet full of, you know, hundreds and hundreds of different renderings of the teapot, and you can see how varied results you can get with something like Midjourney. It's a pretty cool resource, but I can't find it right now. The documentation is moved. The Ultimate Midjourney cheat sheet. Is this? I mean, this looks kind of cool, but it's not the teapot thing. Anyway, sorry I can't find it. I'll see if I can find it. Is it Stable Diffusion, or is it maybe the Open AI API? For which? For ideogram? I don't know. I think when I did my video about ideogram, I said I thought it was based on Stable Diffusion, and someone in the comments said that it wasn't. That it's their own thing. They raised like $160 million or something like that, or no, $65 million. A lot of money. So, yes, you're Steve Jobs you admire and wanted to join the team 10 years too late. Yeah, exactly. That's right, Togas. I was too young to be part of the PC revolution, but then I was just right to be part of the web revolution, and now I'm old and crusty for this AI revolution, but I'm digging it. This is a cool time to be alive. So it is very rare as humans that we get to play with technologies when they're being born that are going to change everything. Yeah, the PC was one that I missed. Web I got, and then this one I'm getting two in my lifetime. That's pretty fucking exciting. It's pretty exciting. It's pretty good. Experts say Chrome is the best browser for ChatGPT because the extensions aid user experience. Although Kavruno Edge is a Chromium browser, so Edge can use all of the Chrome extensions. So you can do all that anyway. I haven't gotten into extensions because they tend to be buggy and they tend to go out of... they get not supported really quickly, so I can't... Anything where I've got to manage actively is not good for my brain type. I got addicted to pop-ups and robocalls. I saw the future then, but they still just bug me. Oh, that's funny. It's something you are regretting. I don't know what it is, but there's not many things I'm regretting, but there's a handful. Oh yeah, Toe Dance is just living life lightheartedly. Nice. Oh, I see. Toe Dance is just like, yeah, just dancing around. Nice. I like it. That's solid. Are you late? Emilio's wife. You are not late. So, by the way, welcome everybody. If you're new here, if you haven't played with ChatGPT, go there. That's the ChatGPT website. If you don't know what to say to it, you don't know what to do, go there. Prompts.chat. That will teach you how to talk to that and all these other things. If you have questions about AI, pop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. Happy to talk about whatever. Just pop it in there. Thanks, Kyle. We'll figure something out. But don't want to screen scrape from Midjourney. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I would say Stable Diffusion is your best bet, Winston, just because the developer community for Midjourney is insane. There's all these LoRa's out there. There's all these models out there. So if you want to get... if you want to be able to dial in a particular style in the API calls you want to make, I would say Stable Diffusion is the way to go, because DALL-E just sucks right now. Now, Is DALL-E going to get better? Probably, but have they had plenty of time to launch something better and not? Yes. So it still sucks. And they haven't even incorporated... Mantrid reached level 11. Wow, awesome. Congratulations. Welcome to level 11. I have no idea what that shit means other than if you hit level 33, some shit happens. I think that's this organization. I think if you hit level 3, you have attained sainthood in the AI Learning Lab. Oh, TikTok. And TikTok just jumped me to the bottom. So those of you that have been here before know it's the bane of my existence. Those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, and it doesn't fucking matter. Okay. Wait. Can I turn off screen text blocking your face on the screen? No. The text blocking my face on the screen, I think, is an advantage. You just want to cover this up as much as possible. I honestly don't know. I think if you try sliding your screen left and right, I think there's one that like magnifies the text all over the screen, and then so it might be a swipe right or swipe left. But I don't know. I don't know TikTok. I'm just an old Gen Xer just trying to fucking deal. I love the janky image. I know the janky image is great, right? Can I turn off the test? Thank you very much for the donut. AI merch, 99 questions behind. 99 plus questions behind. It's always 99 plus. Oh, man. It's so true. Reporting live from back surgery rehab hot tub in Midwest Oklahoma. Fabulous unknowns in the sky. Oh, good. Yeah, hopefully you'll see. Tobias, so if you see some UFOs tonight, or if, some crafts land in your yard and the dudes come out, just give us the play-by-play. I'll jump down to real-time commenting if you're in the hot tub, meeting aliens, because we want to know that. That's awesome. Hope your back is feeling better. Back surgery's no fucking joke. My back almost went out twice yesterday and once today. So I'm like, there's fucking nothing worse. My back went out not the other day. It was like a year ago. I was sitting on my son's bed, and he goes, "Hey, can you turn on the heater?" I literally went like this. My back went out. I fucking went right to the floor. Oh, fucking awful. It's just like, so this for those of you that are young in here, big piece of advice. This is AI advice. Don't get old. It's just awful. So just don't do it. Just stay wherever you are. Okay. Won't be able to turbo tap till I'm out. Tobias, that's just so sad. All right. So if these models are becoming more persuasive and they hallucinate, how do we protect ourselves from BS? Hallucinate. So, Jeff, the way you protect yourself from BS with humans, right? Like humans hallucinate, humans lie, humans write shitty stuff too and do shitty research too. I think one of the traps of these AI tools is that because they're so fast and because they're so capable, it's very easy to get seduced into thinking that they know what they're saying. The reality of how the technology works is that they don't. They actually have zero comprehension of what they just wrote. Zero, which is why they hallucinate. It's actually just a mathematical probability engine. When you type your prompt, it turns it into a mathematical weighting, and it basically goes and looks at all of the words in this 1,000-dimensional mathematical word space, or it's actually just vector space. It's actually just numbers. And it says which of all of those numbers, those points in vector space, is the most likely to be the next probable word, right? Or phrase. Sometimes they use multiple words. And then it just puts those on screen. And then it does it again, and it puts those on screen. So when it writes you a whole thing, it's just doing that as a mathematical probability engine. So it doesn't know what it's doing. So a couple of things. There's two ways that you can deal with this. One is you're in control. The robots are not doing this shit to us. This is a tool that we get to use, right? So you're saying, hey, I want you to give me this information. If you're like the idiot lawyer a few weeks back, 6 weeks back or so, that had ChatGPT write a legal brief, and then he handed it to a fucking judge, and the judge checked the citations in the legal brief, and they were fake. And the judge said, Mr. Lawyer, what the fuck? That's on the lawyer. That's not on these things, right? So one is just have situational awareness of what you're creating. And if you're creating something you're going to hand to a judge, I don't know, check the references. Go nuts. The other thing that you can do is you can get better at prompting. So one of the reasons I have prompts.chat on screen for most of my lives is if you're just playing with these things, this thing will give you a primer on how these things work. And what prompts.chat is it's a big long list of prompts where you tell ChatGPT to act like a certain kind of character. And basically the way large language models work, the more context you give them, the better they get at answering things. It doesn't mean they're not going to hallucinate. It's weird. Sometimes you can get them to be really, really good and they don't hallucinate much at all. Other times they just fucking go off the rails. But if you give them a lot of context and say, hey, I want you to be a history professor that specializes in Egyptian history and blah, 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 and then I want you to tell me about the history of this particular thing in Egyptian history, you'll tend to get it very, very accurate because you've kind of narrowed the knowledge that it's drawing from to a smaller space. If you just say, tell me about the pyramids, it'll tell you about everything from the Luxor pyramid in Vegas to pyramid schemes to just everything else. And it's sort of amalgamating, words from all these different kind of semantic clusters. But if you kind of narrow it into a space, then you're pulling from a much more focused knowledge set. And that's why it makes it better. But the other thing, Jeff, is recognize that these things are, wait for it, janky pieces of shit. These tools are very, very new. They're incredibly powerful. The fact that we as mere mortals and not, research scientists get to play with them is remarkable. But they're new. They're new and they're rough around the edges. It doesn't mean you shouldn't play. Just because they're not perfect, get curious about them. Figure out what they're good at, what they're not good at. They are remarkable. At some point, you will have what I call your Kevin McAllister moment, which is the Home Alone moment of just like, I had no idea. But you kind of have to push through playing with them and being curious about them to get past like, oh, it's just like a fancy Google search. I get it. It's, I heard that they hallucinate. They're stealing from copywritten works. There's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines soapboxing without ever having tried them. That's the thing that I'm trying to... This channel is the anti-that. Like, I don't mind if you hate AI, but hate AI having used it. Not hate AI because conceptually it's the evil bots are going to kill us or it hallucinates. Go play. Go have your mind blown. Go figure out, oh shit, it really can do something remarkable. And then figure out where the boundaries are. And you might realize, oh, I actually don't like how this does what it does. I'm going to keep doing things the way I do them. Totally respect that. Love that. But most of the loud haters of this stuff haven't tried it. Because the minute you try it, the minute you have your Kevin McAllister moment, you kind of go, I should probably learn what these things do. Do they do more than that? Yeah. But surely they can't do what I do. What I've trained for 30 years to do. They can't. Oh, they can do that too? What do I do? Bob, can we turn off the internet? I think Google had some kind of reset today. Did they? I wonder if they're getting ready for Gemini. Or I wonder if they rolled Google reset today. What's reset mean, though? Reset Google Chrome. Let's see. Google News. Google will soon require disclaimers for AI-generated political ads. I don't see anything in the news. It's possible. It wasn't big enough. Google breaking news today. I don't see anything. But if something happened, let me know. Wait, what? Why Bing or Edge? So iGalactic. Okay, so let me show you why I'm using Bing and Edge. So here's Bing. So I'm just going to go to bing.com. Okay? And then hang on. Okay, question from iGalactic, which, by the way, I'm going to go 9 out of 10 on the name. I love it. Is it iGalactic? Alcaraz is mopping the floor with Zverev. How do you say it? Zverev. All right, he's also 20. Good Lord, these 20-year-olds. Okay, so you come to Microsoft Bing, and couple of things going on here. You got a little microphone, you got a little camera, you can upload shit. You can do like a normal search, but click on the chat button, and this is ChatGPT. So this is pretty cool. It's also got this thing like more creative, more balanced, more precise. If you've ever played around in GPT's playground, there's a thing called temperature. It's a slider that you can basically slide from less creative to more creative. And so Microsoft has basically revealed that capability, as an end user product, which is pretty slick. Bing is also connected to the internet. So I can say, tell me what the weather in Denver is going to be like tomorrow, period. Is it a nice day to take a hike? So it's connected to the internet. According to the weather forecast, it's going to be 90 degrees and a low of 55. Seems like it would be a nice day for a hike, but it's always good to check the weather again before heading out. And then it's got links to the sources that it used, right? It's doing citations, right? So pretty slick. Okay. Then I could say, can you write me a poem about the weather tomorrow that is in iambic pentameter. So this is what I call a parlor trick. Let's have ChatGPT do a parlor trick. Wait, where did it? It ain't my prompt. Write me a poem about tomorrow's weather in iambic pentameter. Do a little Shakespeare action. All right? Sure. In Denver, where the mountains touch the sky, the sun will shine and rise, a temps rate high, with 90 as the peak and 55 the low, a hike would make one feel alive. So it remembered that we were going to go on a hike. So lace your boots and fill your flask with care, and don't forget the sunscreen for your hair. Now, you don't put sunscreen on your hair. But anyway, it can do shit like that. It can also do this. Make me an image of the Flatirons in Boulder and show some nice dogs walking on the trails with the mountains in the distance at sunset. It can make images. It can read images. It can so it's good, interesting stuff. I'll try to create that. So it's got this really horrible Microsoft-looking 90s. The computer is working on your bits now, graphic. I think they could get rid of that. But anyway, there's the Flatirons. That's actually pretty close to what they look like. They're not quite right, but there's your doggos, right? So you got dogs there. So it does that. So that's that. Now, here's the other thing. So I'm going to go to my company's website, Storyvine. So here's Storyvine. Now I'm in Edge, and so in Edge you've got all these functions down the side. One of the things it's got is it's got a Bing sidebar, like a ChatGPT sidebar, that is aware of the site to the left of it. So first thing it did, it's in creative mode. It grabbed a summary of Storyvine. I'm going to put it in precise mode. But it says, what is Storyvine? Storyvine's a video platform. What are the benefits of Storyvine? How does Storyvine work? Storyvine uses a video guide that asks specific questions one at a time to structure the storytelling. That's correct. And that's not text from our site. The app records answers and uploads them to the cloud where they're stitched together with graphics, music, and transitions. You can review the videos in a back-end dashboard and share them on social media, right? And then learn more. Here's your links. Let's see where it takes us. Yeah, so now it's showing us. So it's got a link here, and it's saying here's I wrote this from this information, right? So I can start asking now, like, what kind of companies does Storyvine work for? Storyvine's a Denver-based company. Variety of companies, including Alcon, the Hospital Corporation of America, and America Succeeds. Platforms designed to fill the gap between expensive or professional video and hard to control user-generated video. So I got it mostly there. In essence, Storyvine works for companies that are looking to create authentic branded video content in a structured way without the high costs typically associated. So anyway, so it's just that ability to, no matter where I am and what I'm doing, to just quickly flip into chat mode without having to, go over to another site is pretty slick. So that's why I shifted. And quite frankly, I don't know, I was kind of done with Google. I think they are so over SEO optimized, and they effectively had a monopoly. So part of this is Microsoft is acting like a startup for the first time in decades, and they're fucking with Google, and I think it's fun. so I'm gonna reward their bad attitude. Oh man, yeah. Can you explain the layers in a neural network? Not really. Not really. I can explain how ChatGPT works, and I can explain how diffusion models work. But once you get into the sort of data science of it, below at the neural network level, that's below my my area of expertise. You might also ask, what are your qualifications, sir? So here's the deal. This channel is about the inflection point that we entered on November 30th, 2022. So prior to that inflection point, you had to be a mathematician, a scientist, a researcher, an engineer, if you wanted to play in machine learning. I've been fascinated with machine learning for a long time, like decades. And in the past 7 years or so, Google would put out these announcements. Oh, there's a new version of TensorFlow that's really easy to use. And I'd go, oh, that goody. Let me go play with TensorFlow. And I would go look at the documentation, and I would go, oh, that makes me sad. I still haven't gone for Stanford and gotten my mathematics degree yet. I'll get to it. I will. I promise. And then in early 2022, I started playing with these image generation tools. I started on an NFT project called Pixel Mind, which is a really cool project, built on top of Stable Diffusion. And then I fucking slammed my face against the brick wall and failed 9 times to get Stable Diffusion up and running on a Google Colab server. And I finally got it. And then I got Dream Booth working. And then I started making all these crazy images. And I created an art project called Kyle Shannon Dreams and created all these crazy sort of weird self-portraits of myself but not myself. And I'm like, this generative AI stuff, so now I'm starting to play with this stuff. And then November 30th, ChatGPT comes out. And what's funny is I had dicked around with GPT-3 and the GPT playground, while I was learning about this stuff. You kind of bounce around, you learn this stuff. I had played with that, I don't know, for 6 months. And I sort of got it, and I sort of got that you could do cool stuff, and it did cool stuff. And then ChatGPT came out, And within about 2 weeks, I had my first Kevin McAllister moment. I had this moment where within 90 minutes, never having written a line of Python, I created a fully functional Python application that took some inputs from a user and generated 5 pieces of social media content. And I was like, holy shit, the world just changed. And it's the same epiphany I had in 1994 when I published an online magazine using this crazy technology called the World Wide Web. And 3 weeks later, it was written about in Paris. And I was like, holy fuck, the world just changed. Like, those moments don't come along that often. So the minute that happened with ChatGPT, I just kind of went ballistic. I started the AI Salon. I started this TikTok channel. I started a newsletter. I completely started rethinking my company's value proposition and what our product is and how it works. And I haven't looked back. And it's just like every day I'm doing everything I can to learn as much as I can about it. But I'm sort of post-inflection point. So if you have questions about stuff down in the engineering side of things, I'm not the one to ask. But the good news is there's lots of resources for that, right? That shit's been around for decades. So, but if you want to know how this shit works and what the implications are and how I think it's going to impact work and how I think it's going to impact people and all that sort of shit, that's all I've been thinking about and all I've been doing for the past year and a half. So, anyway, that's that. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I actually kind of like Bing, he said. And then he knew he would never be young again. I know, iGalactic. Listen, I like, it hurts me inside to say good things about Microsoft products. It really does. but Apple, like, they just sucks. Ever since Steve Jobs died, like, there's no one there that's fucking maniacal about quality and innovation anymore. There are people there that are passionate about it, but there are no fucking maniacs. So, and their products have suffered as a result. I think the Vision Pro things are actually promising, but it's a little disappointing. Like, their shit doesn't just work like it used to. Apple has gotten jankier. It's not janky, but it's gotten jankier. So anyway, so I'm with you. I know, Microsoft old people. I get it. I don't disagree, but Microsoft has acted more like a startup than Google has for a year now, and like gloating in it. And there's something really exciting about that. And they fucking knocked Google back on their heels, and Google has been spending the last year scrambling to try to catch up with the technology they fucking invented. That's the thing that blows my mind. They invented the Transformer in 2017. And then they fucking mothballed it. Why? Because it threatened their business model. They didn't expect little old snot-nosed Sam Altman to like whip up a little ChatGPT that would get 100 million users in 6 weeks. No one expected that, including Sam Altman. But when that happened, and Microsoft went from, we're investing $1 billion to like a month later, oh, make it $10 billion. And we're rolling it into everything we do. Because they knew they had knocked Google for a loop. I find that really exciting. Some actual competition in a space that had an effective monopoly for 15 years. I mean, November of 2022, Google's market share was 92 or 94% of the search market. I wonder what it is today. I wonder if they've lost any. I heard that, what was it? For every percentage point in search, it was like $2 billion for Microsoft. It was some crazy amount of money. But the CEO of Microsoft said he wants to fuck with Google. He will take a loss on ChatGPT just to mess with Google. Let's see. What is Google's market share in search? 92%. Is that, when is this from? It's still steady. It's still steady. Nothing's moved. They still effectively have a monopoly. Here's the other thing about Google. They they're pissed off. And they're apparently working on this thing Gemini, which is supposedly a ChatGPT 4 killer. I'll believe it when I see it, but but they're gonna come out swinging. It's gonna be fun. I mean, here's the deal: when these big companies start throwing billions of dollars around, like Apple said a month ago they spent the bulk of their research budget in 2023 on generative AI. Apple's research budget is $24.6 billion. So, who benefits when these big companies start swinging their private parts around at each other? We do. We get to play with all the toys because they're trying to get us to click on their shit. so, so that's why this stuff's really exciting, because whatever you think of ChatGPT and whatever the state of the art is now, the fact that it took off so quickly just forced everyone to like reveal their hands and start pushing hard on this stuff. So that's why this is really exciting right now. I got addicted to, okay, let's see. Togas, thank you for the roses. The roses, rose by another name. Thanks, Kyle. We'll figure something out. So TikTok's just putting me in. I don't know how TikTok does what they do with these fucking comments. I really don't. Actually, those epiphany moments will keep on doubling quicker and quicker as time goes on. Yeah, I agree with that, Kurt. Where am I? I think I'm fairly far down in the comments. I think I just skipped a bunch of questions, but that's okay. I was pretty far behind. So I'm just going to go grab one here that looks interesting. May I inquire if you possess a concise reference guide? I do not. The closest thing I have, so Thelonious, who's one of the irregulars here, he's been, as I mention new tools and play with new tools, he's been adding them to a Google sheet. So pony on up to Thelonious if you see him in the comments, and then at some point we're gonna make that spreadsheet available somewhere. But that's why I have these things on screen. Like, so what I would do is, what I'll do is this: I'm gonna go through and I'll show you all these resources that I think are worth playing with, especially if you're just getting started right now. You don't need a ton. You could spend, I feel like I could personally spend the next decade playing with ChatGPT 3.5 and nothing else and still not uncover all of what it can do. These things are profoundly powerful. They're profoundly deep. So you don't need a ton. And I try to keep what I recommend to a minimum, because you don't need more rabbit holes to run down. There's plenty even within these things. So what I'm going to do is so screenshot this. So these are my top 3. This is the adult table. ChatGPT is the best. GPT-4 is worth the $20 to pay for, in my opinion, at this site, chat.openai.com. You also get this thing called Advanced Data Analytics here, which is fucking mind-blowing. So that's that one. Claude is free, and it's a competitor to ChatGPT from a bunch of ex-OpenAI people. So a bunch of people left here and went to start Claude because they had a better way to make these things safer, and that's what that company is. It's called Anthropic. Claude is really interesting, and Claude has a 100,000 token context model, which basically means you could paste a 50,000 word novel into the chat window and it will read it. You can literally paste in your great American novel into the chat window and tell it to write an epilogue or a prologue or rewrite chapter 13, and it will. So it's pretty amazing. Bard is Google's entry into here. I have it here because it used to suck so bad it wasn't even on the list at all. And now it's gotten decent. Although today, when it wouldn't give me hyperlinks, it about lost its spot at the adult table. Bing was at the adult table and got kicked down to the kids table. This is the kids table. And not because these things are bad. It's just I feel like these three are things I use for my everyday work. These three are things that I experiment with more and play with more, just kind of trying to figure out what's good and what's not. So Bing I showed earlier, that's the one that is connected to the internet, can make images, it's tied to Microsoft. Perplexity.ai in and of itself is an interesting site. You can do research. It does citations really well. But labs.perplexity.ai, they're hosting Meta's Llama 2 models and the Code Llama models. So if you want to go play with those open source models and see how good they are or bad they are, you can do that there before having to take the time to install them on your own servers. Pi is a kind of chatty version of ChatGPT, Chatty GPT. You can talk to it. You can put it into voice mode and actually just have a conversation with it. Fascinating. And then Poe has a whole bunch of bots that people have built, and you can build your own bot there. It's really interesting. Okay, so take a screenshot of this. The thing at the top, that's our YouTube channel. So I'm taking the archives of these lives and I'm putting them on here, and I'm chapterizing them using Claude. It's a slow, cumbersome process, so I'm very far behind, but I'm doing it. What else? Okay, images. So these are images. Here's another one to take a screenshot of. Okay, hang on. There you go. Take a screenshot of that. So these are the image tools where I would start. Midjourney's by far the best. It's the best. Stable Diffusion geeks will go, Stable Diffusion is as good as Midjourney. It's not, but what Stable Diffusion has that Midjourney doesn't is that Stability AI has open sourced Stable Diffusion and the models. And so the developer community for Stable Diffusion is massive. These are just two projects within the Stable Diffusion community. There's one called Automatic 1111, which is, if you're geeky, you can install, and it's got all sorts of extensions and wild stuff. Thanks for the beaver. I like a good beaver. Okay. Leonardo is just a really good website sitting on top of Stable Diffusion. ClipDrop is a bunch of tools from Stability AI. Ideogram's free. Midjourney's not. Leonardo's not. But you can do, 7 or 8 images a day for free there. You get credits every day in the free tier. And then ClipDrop, most of those tools are free, I think. You might have to pay for those. I can't remember. And then Prompt Book will teach you how to talk to these tools. All right? And then the other thing you can do, about almost a year ago, I started this thing called the AI Salon. So if you go to the salon.ai, there's a link tree there where you can go to our meetup. We meet every other week, and our next meeting is next Tuesday. And then we also have a Discord where you can hang out and geek out. And we've got if you're a regular in the chat here, we've got a private channel for the irregulars to hang out and, ask questions and stuff like that. It's a cool group. So, all right. That was a rabbit hole. I'm exhausted. Good Lord, people. What are we going to do? All right. But that's as close as I have to a concise reference guide. I am going to do, so I'm putting together a workshop right now. Thank you very much, ShareBear. Hey, ShareBear, what's happening? I'm putting together a workshop right now with a woman that I did I spoke on her podcast, and we're doing a workshop for creatives. And then once I do that, I'm going to follow that up. I'm going to create an AI Learning Lab specific workshop. I just haven't done it yet. So that will be coming too. I'm just one man. I can only do so much, people. I can only do so much. All right. I saw someone using the beta for improved ChatGPT today on TikTok. Which, Kavruno, was that the one that we showed last night? That was the what was that thing called? Wait, I bookmarked it. Hold. Typing Mind. Yeah. Was it Typing Mind that you saw someone using, or was it a new version of ChatGPT? I'm curious which one. Can Bing settle the debate as to who has the better skiing out of Utah or Colorado? No, of course not. I put sunscreen in my hair. I know, Silver Fox. The writing of Bing is. Here's the deal: when you have Bing GPT write for you, the result of the writing for me with Bing is always it's as if someone at Microsoft wrote it, which is. I mean, it's professional-ish. So yeah, I'm right there with you. So no one can ever debates like is Utah or Colorado better. You never win those. It's like politics right now in the United States, or it's like football teams. That's just a lifelong battle. That'll just go on forever. Did you create that image or find it? I don't know which image you're talking about. These images I created on Ideogram. So here, let me show you Ideogram if you haven't seen it yet. It's pretty flippin' sick. It's sick, man. It's so sick. It's so cool. Da, 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 da. Oh, that's a cool thing. I'll show you too. All right, let's see. IDO. So it's IDO. IDEO gram.ai. And it's just like any one of these other sort of image generation sites. It's very, very simple. It's got some buttons for different styles. It's got 3 different aspect ratios: tall, square, flat, or landscape. But look what it can do. Most likely to peek under the Christmas tree. It can do text. It can do logos. It can do stuff that Midjourney can't. And so how I made stuff, like here's a cool one. So we're just going to grab this one. We're going to go copy this person's prompt, because you can. This is a cool way to learn this stuff as well. A good way to learn prompting. And I'm just going to paste it in here, and we'll do vertical because it's kind of a poster. So we'll say photo, poster, 3D render. Say, cool, futuristic, pop art, realistic song poster in which the text is AI Learning Lab is written on a hot air balloon of Earth-like shape in night sky photo. Fine, whatever. Click. Go experiment. Just go copy and paste other people's prompts. Just learn this stuff any way you can. You don't need to... One of the misconceptions about these tools right now is, I've got to be a scientist, or I got to be a prompt engineer, I got to be this, I got to be that. No, you don't actually. You can just go play. These tools are, even though they're janky pieces of shit, they are at this stage now. You can just go play with this stuff, and you can see, that's actually useful, or not, or here's a rabbit hole to go run down. It looks like we got close with this one and close with this one. We didn't get the AI, but we got Learning Lab. And these aren't quite done yet. Generation progress, 99%. Still doesn't quite look done. But this is kind of a cool image. Yeah, there it goes. There it's sharpened up. So now what you can do with this is you can actually go remix it. So one of the things that I've noticed is if you can get one that's close, that's got some letters in it, if I just do a remix and then just generate it, it will sometimes give me the AI Learning Lab thing. Because it's still got the prompt in it. And it's using that image as kind of a seed image, I suppose. Look, there's AI Learning Lab right there. There's another one. We got it. Yay! You did it! Yay! You did it! Yay! You're a winner. Yay. So this is ideogram.ai. Ideogram.ai. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. We'll take you to new heights of understanding. Huh? How's that for marketing? With the little balloon image? Kind of cool. And it actually has the world on it. This one has the world on it. Pretty groovy. I think that's the best one. So you pop that bad boy up. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save image as. aiLL balloon. I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to go here. And then I'm going to go here. And then I'm going to go, wait, where do I have that? No, that's that. Do I have it in downloads? aiLL, name contains. Is this it? No. Where did I? What did I say? Balloon, right? Balloon. Balloon. There it is. All right. So let's go over here to library. We'll go over here to this, and we'll drag our balloon in here. There's our balloon, and then we'll drag that into our little library, and now we got, bang! Look! You did it! Yay! You did it! You're a winner! So, listen, I know I'm kind of making fun of this, and this is silly, but how fucking remarkable is that? I mean, we get to do this now. This works. You just watched me do it. This works. This works now. And you're like, but Kyle, it's the kerning isn't quite correct on those fonts. I don't know if you know typography like I know typography. But yeah, sorry. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. This is the worst this technology will ever be. Imagine this in 3 years. 18 months ago, Stable Diffusion and Midjourney, when it generated images, they were laughably bad. Laughably bad. It didn't look anything like the prompt. Midjourney right now is doing full-on photorealistic, insane stuff. And this stuff is doing this level of typography. 3 years. This stuff will be insanity. In fact, I saw an interview with the CEO of Stable Diffusion and or Stability AI, and he's saying the internal tool that they're playing with at Stability AI, it's generating 60 images a second. Why is that relevant, Kyle? Well, that's the speed that games run at and sports are, broadcast at. Movies are 24 frames a second, videos 30 frames a second, games and sports and things like that are 60 or 100 or 120 or right. So it's generating like Stable Diffusion quality images, 60 of them in a second. Well, what's that mean, Kyle? Well, make me a movie, right? Have you seen? Oh, you want to go do something fun? Let's go take this image. We'll go over to Runway ML. You want to turn this into a video? Wait, can we just marvel at the hair? What the fuck just happened to my hair? Good Lord. I think the raccoons came out of the storm drains again and did something up there. All right, we're going to go animate this thing with Runway ML. So you go to runwayml.com, and of course you have to log in. These video generation tools are expensive, so they're not cheap, but they're pretty remarkable. So you go text to video, and you can just type in a prompt, and it'll make you a video. But look at this. Look at this magic little button. Here, let me make it bigger. Upload an image. Bang. Where's my... Oh, sorry. No, that's not right. You got to do it here. It'll show it there. All right, so I'm going to go find... There's my balloon image, right? There's our little balloon image. So we're going to open that. And so now that becomes, I think it shows up here. Yeah. So that becomes our that. So this is what we're going to animate. And then I can change my motion from 0 to 10. So I'll put it at like 7, I guess. I don't know. What's this? We're going to interpolate. We're going to smooth out the frames. We're going to upscale. We're going to remove the watermark. Okay, whatever. And so I have 197 seconds left, and I'm going to say generate. Bang. Wait, why can I not do this? Oh, I think I have to put in a prompt. Balloon drifting through the clouds on at dusk. All right, and now I say generate, bang, and now it's going to go off and it's going to do its thing, and it's going to make us a video. It's going to make us a party video. And this is very similar to a lot of the other stuff where the results of this are so when I made this image, like 2 of the images had no letters in them. One of them had some letters and one of them had Learning Lab in it, right? And so it was like 20% sort of there, 25% sort of there. Same with these video generating things. Like, it may or may not do this well because, for one thing, I had a vertical image and it's just sort of cropping it, so it might not even recognize this as a balloon, but we'll see. But again, you look at what we're doing here. I've put essentially no time or thought into this, right? So we went over to ideogram. I copied and pasted someone else's prompt. We turned it into this, which sort of looks like what they did, but different enough that not really. We made that cool image. That's an image we can use now for the thing. And now we're popping into Runway ML. This is going to turn into a video. Imagine if you actually put some time and effort and critical thinking and thought and creativity and curation and editing into this stuff. That's how people are making these remarkable, pieces of creative, these videos. Like, if you haven't seen Barbenheimer, go see Barbenheimer. Oh, it kept the vertical aspect ratio. That's pretty cool. So that's actually kind of cool. I mean, like it didn't animate the clouds, which it wouldn't, right? If this were a balloon floating through the air, this is kind of what it would do, right? Balloons aren't the most exciting thing, and the light kind of, shines on it differently. So anyway, and then the other thing that you can do is you can extend these for 4 seconds. You can do that 4 times. So it allows you to take a 4-second video and extend it up to 18 seconds. So, just crazy stuff. Let me see if I've got other videos that I did here. Where? AI Magic Tools, text to video. Oh no, these aren't ones that I did, but like here's ones that other folks have done. Good, remarkable stuff. So you just generate an image. You come in here, and it will make it into video. Look at that. I mean, come on, man. You kidding me? Let's see this one. This looks cool. Yeah, not bad. That's slick. Right? You need stock video of a certain kind of fabric fluttering in the wind, right? You need a little Hobbit Shire. There you go. Done. Bang. Trinkets blowing in the breeze. I mean, if you did this carefully, if you really, figure out what these things are good at, what they're not good at, and then get creative within the constraints. It's actually a really good creative exercise is to try to be creative inside of the imperfection of these janky ass tools. Really good creative exercise. All right, 99 plus messages behind. See what happens when you go down a little rabbit hole? Anyway, I hope that helped. I'm going to jump all the way to the bottom and kind of scroll up a little bit. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Talk about your October series of workshops. Okay, so Rhonda just sent me a write-up she did for it. I haven't looked at it today, but the evening of October 4th, which is a Wednesday, and then every Wednesday for 3 Wednesdays, from 5 to 7 Mountain Time, I'm doing a workshop for creatives. So Rhonda's group, she's a professional voiceover actress, so her group is mostly voiceover actresses, voiceover actors. But she's also got just creatives in general. So we're going to do a workshop on, practical use of AI for creatives. So October 4th, 11th, 18th, I think are the 3 dates. But I know the 4th is the first one. That's right. 7 days, right? 4th, 11th, 18th. 5 to 7 Mountain. And I'll when I have materials, I'll talk about it in here. But if you want to do a save the date thing and start hanging out in the lives, this is what we do here, night after night. Night after night after night after night after night after night. All right, you need another whiskey. I do need another whiskey. You know what the problem was? I had dinner and then I had a whiskey, and then I was watching the U.S. Open. I got really sleepy. I'm like, I gotta go do my live. So I'm a little low energy tonight, but another whiskey would make me higher energy. But I have an important call at 8:30 tomorrow morning, so I'm done with whiskey for the night. All right, is there a single AI that can make an episode of a TV show? Because I know there was that South Park one. Yeah, that one was called Showrunner. Showrunner demos South Park episode creator. Yeah, so this is basically first this is an academic paper but basically what they did was you type in a prompt of what you want the South Park episode to be, and then it creates you a full South Park episode with music, voiceover actors, script, animation, all of it. Now, is it great? No. But again, these things are janky pieces of shit. They're the worst they're ever going to be. So, sorry we couldn't find the page. Oh, they took it down. Oh, they might have taken it down because South Park kids. Trey probably told them, you can't do that, man. Of note, I reached out to the actual Parker and Stone through their production company. No comment provided. Wait. We'd not create. Yeah, I don't know. So this was kind of a proof of concept. I haven't really followed it, so I don't know if there's other things behind this. But what this makes patently clear is that the reason that the Writers Guild is striking and the reason that the SAG is striking are really valid reasons. As Justine Bateman said, she wrote a piece for The Hollywood Reporter that was really quite powerful. She's an AI hater, but she's very, very smart about it. And basically what she said is, these are the last 2 strikes where either of these unions have any leverage whatsoever. Because this shit's going to get that good. And it's not going to be long. So what the argument she basically makes is you should get as much in those contracts as you can, because this is basically it. So I haven't paid attention to what's going on with this particular project, but if you look up Showrunner AI, Fable is the name of the company, and this was from July 18th. So this was the Venture Beat article. I wonder if they have. Sorry, the video does not exist. Yeah, they took it down. But you can go make your own. It's like an open source project where you can go make your own, I'm pretty sure. Interesting. But that's hey, when you're like when you're in early days of an industry like this, like everyone's trying to figure out where the boundaries are, right? They're like, here's these new tools. Look, we can do this, we can do that. We can make Drake in the weekend sing this popular song, gets 600,000 views in a week, and then Spotify takes it down. Showrunner AI makes it complete episodes of South Park with a single prompt. Trey, and Stone take it down. All right. It was a beta of ChatGPT. I wonder if there's a video of it. Where did you saw it on TikTok, Cavruno? YouTube. ChatGPT beta. I don't see anything there. Preview. Well, if you find that link, Bruno, to the TikTok, let me know. Just you can DM it to me or something like that. I'd love to see it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it sounds like Google's going to be releasing Gemini in the fall, which is their new multimodal ChatGPT 4 competitor. OpenAI has been suspiciously quiet in terms of innovation. I think they've been a little busy with lawsuits and, the New York Times threatening to sue them and things like that. Sarah Silverman suing them. But I assume they're cooking something up. I assume they know that something's coming from Google. So there's things like ChatGPT 4 can generate images and can read images. DALL-E can generate images, but you could roll that into ChatGPT. They haven't done that yet. Bing has incorporated the fact that GPT-4 can read images. ChatGPT hasn't done that yet. Like, there's a lot of stuff that should be coming from them. And it's just not there. It's weird, irregulars, is I can't see any totals of the hearts. So I have no idea how many likes we have. That's pretty funny. Utah doesn't have Casa Bonita, though. Case closed. That's awesome. Buffering. It happens. Good signal here. It'll come back. Maybe it's me. Yeah, it was me. Okay, yeah. Just noticed no lagging tonight. Yay, that's great. Okay. Which application was that? I do not know. What was that doing? So I did ideogram. So ideogram is the image one. I did typing mind. No, I don't want to do that. Typingmind.com is basically a bunch of additional features on top of GPT-4. Like, you can do multiple profiles, and it does plugins. You can pick different models. It's got a prompt library. It's got all sorts of shit. So that I was looking at. And then I was looking at ideogram. And then I was looking at Runway ML. So Runway ML did the video, runwayml.com. Ideogram did the images with letters on them, like our happy little AI Learning Lab balloon. And then that type one, can't remember what it's called. Typing Mind is the sort of fancy interface in front of ChatGPT. I I'm not a particular fan of apps like this that are basically charging you money to basically add features that OpenAI is likely going to add to ChatGPT at some point in the future. It's possible it's worth it, but I'm not a big fan of that approach. So, yeah. What was the name of that program again? Ideogram. Where else can people see hair like Kyle's? Really? That's right. Nowhere. This is what it is. Let's see. Alcaraz up 2-1. Zverev up 4-3 with Alcaraz serving. I think he's going to take him in straight sets. And it's going to be interesting to see if young Ben Shelton beats Djokovic. I mean, I'd like to see Djokovic win just because, he's like having this amazing run as an older dude. But these young kids, like a 20-year-old versus 20-year-old U.S. Open final with Alcaraz and Ben Shelton, that would be electric. So, all right, enough geeky sports talk. I thought we were here to talk about AI, Kyle. I don't know if you knew this, but I'm here to learn about artificial intelligence. Okay, I'm trying to figure things out here. There's a lot of disruptions going on in my life, and if all you're going to do is talk about sports memorabilia or whatever you're doing with your tennis hobby, it's not really appropriate for an artificial intelligence channel, if you know what I mean. You understand what I'm saying? No. All right. Well, carry on then. Okay. Very rude. He was very rude to me. Waka waka. A lot of joking going on between the irregulars. I like this. I fully support the when I get boring, the irregulars kind of just take over and have their own fun, which is how it should be. It's like, Kyle, if you're not entertaining us, we're just going to entertain ourselves. I hope you know that. This is not just your channel anymore. There's a lot of us here. We show up very regularly. We expect attention. And if you're not giving it to us, then we're going to entertain ourselves. I hope you know that. The irregulars are all from Minnesota. I don't know what's going on with that, but they all talk like Al Franken. All right, morning in Oz, time for the Vorse. I don't know what the Vorse is. October 4th, 11th, 18th, plus 25, 6 to 7 Mountain Creative Lives. Silver Fox, it's 5 to 7. They're 2-hour workshops. 5 to 7 Mountain Time. If I said 6 to 7, that's because... Oh, MST is Colorado time. Yes, Mountain Standard Time. So what we decided is 5 to 7 in Denver will be 4 to 6 on the West Coast and 7 to 9 in New York, right? So it's not bad. So Wednesday evenings, the 4th, the 11th, the 18th, at those times for the workshop. Have those strikes stopped production of shows, etc.? How long can that last? It can last for a while. They've got there's a weird kind of production backdoor for the strike where if the productions are independent, which basically just means it's not one of the big studios that are producing them, they can still be filming. So I think writers are still writing. I think actors are still acting in this sort of weird loophole. The big studios are kind of screwed. They can't, like, all the big blockbuster shit's not going. But I think all of the more what they call independent production, which a lot of production these days is independent. So like there's a lot of shit still being produced, even though it's in the context of the strike. So I haven't been following it super closely, but I know that's kind of a weird thing about it. They can go on for a while. Like it's just striking in that business is rough because, like, I have a degree in acting. I moved to New York City out of school to do this. I've written 7 screenplays. Like, I know that world well. If you have a crappy 3-line part in a movie, there are 10,000 people that would drag you behind their car to take you out to get your role. So it's a rough business to strike because, like, the amount of people that want to be in that business dramatically outweigh the amount of jobs available. So they don't have a lot of leverage. So basically what it comes down to is, do the big stars, can the big stars wield their leverage for the rest of the union? Because I think the average salary of a SAG actor is $26,000 a year. Like, Actors Equity, average unemployment is like 96% of union members, right? So if you're an equity actor, that's stage acting, but it's like some ridiculous amount of unemployment. So none of the lower level, like even B level stars and down, they have essentially no leverage because there's just thousands of people that want to do that job. So this is really about the big stars, costing the studios hundreds of millions of dollars. And if they do, then the studios are going to bend. And, quite frankly, like, all the streaming services are not paying any royalties. So, like, I've got a friend of the family was on The Sopranos, and, all the shows on Netflix and all that, they get paid their fee for the show, but they have no royalties. So they're trying to get royalties. And then they're trying to get, with this AI shit, if you synthesize my likeness and use it again, you should credit me and you should fucking pay me. And the producers are like, well, how about we pay you $200 for a day rate and then we can use your likeness in perpetuity? And SAG was like, okay, fuck you. We're out. So it could go on for a while. TikTok live with another creator. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. 27,000. Very nice. Who should invest to make some investments? Oh, who should we invest in to make some investments? I don't know. Listen, I have a degree in acting. You want me to give you financial advice? Fine, I'll do it. Should you listen to it? No. I'll tell you the kind, like, so in terms of who to invest in, I don't fucking know. And a lot of these companies are private right now. I'll tell you the companies that I think are interesting. I think NVIDIA is interesting because they somehow miraculously figured out how to create a monopoly of GPU chips that no one else seems to be able to catch up with. Like the entire chip manufacturing industry seeded CEDE, gave NVIDIA the GPU market, right? Because they were doing video games for a lot of years, and then they were doing crypto shit and blockchain shit, and then the AI stuff. Have you seen their earnings report? Their earnings report, it was going like this, and like the last quarter, it's like it like doubled or tripled. Like, it's just some fucking stupid amount of revenue that they've got right now. So they hit $1 trillion market cap, and their revenue's through the fucking roof. OpenAI is clearly interesting. They just announced they hit $1 billion run rate. There was an article out about 3 weeks ago that was like, OpenAI is spending $700,000 a day, and they're going to be bankrupt by the end of 2024. And my response to that was, yeah, no, they're not. Microsoft invested $10 billion in them, and they're wrapping OpenAI's technology into their entire product line, from Azure Cloud Services to GitHub to Office 365 to Dynamics 365, all of it, to Windows 11, all of it. All of it's going to have GPT in it. So they're not going to let them die. So, and then, last week, OpenAI just hit $1 billion run rate. $700,000 a day in costs is about $250 million, $255 million or something like that. And they just hit $1 billion run rate. So they're going to be okay. I think OpenAI is going to be okay. So they're interesting. I think Anthropic's interesting, the people behind Claude. They've got a thing called the constitutional learning model, which feels to me like the future of how we're going to get these things safe. It might not be that, but it's the most interesting of the things that are out there. Inflection, the company behind Pi, but the chatty GPT that we make fun of, they just raised $1.3 billion. They're still private, but they're really fucking interesting. X.AI, Elon Musk's company, I wouldn't bet against him. Even though he's kind of making a mess of X Twitter. They just put in a 10,000 GPU server farm, and they've completely shifted how Teslas are doing full self-driving. So he's going to start melding all of his company's technologies together. So they're going to get efficiencies of scale. So I think interesting shit's going to come out of there. Apple is going to... They're spending the bulk of their $24 billion research budget on generative AI. They're going to come out swinging. Midjourney, I think, is going to get their ass handed to them. I think so. Right now, they're an 11-person company. They're really small. The CEO is a bit of a cowboy, and he's just kind of like, I don't want to do in painting, so we're not going to do in painting. I don't like APIs. We're not like he's just a bit of a cowboy. And Alcaraz just won. So I don't know who Alcaraz is playing, but he just won. So I think Midjourney's going to get slapped around a bit. Now, someone could buy them, and because it's really interesting technology, it's really good technology. Ideogram, the fact that they came out of nowhere, they're a 10-day-old company. They raised, I don't know, $60 billion with Andreessen Horowitz in the lead. And they're doing text like this out of nowhere. All of a sudden, they look really interesting. Stability AI, super interesting company, super interesting CEO. Runway ML for video. Descript for video. Like, again, a lot of these are private companies, so I don't know that you can really invest in them, but like, I don't know anything. I'm not looking at them through a financial lens. I'm looking at them through what is the least janky what is the least janky piece of shit technology out there? That's what I'm looking at. Like, what's actually interesting that's happening? Google's been on their heels, but they're Google. They have a lot of money, and if Google is willing to risk their current business model to really go for this, then they could be really interesting. Meta's interesting because they gave away their llama models. I can only imagine there's some sexier model that they're not going to give away, that they're going to charge for. Like, I think they're giving it away to stay relevant while they build up a kick-ass model. So there's some shit coming that's going to be really good. I don't think that tells you anything about what to invest in, but that's the stuff I think is interesting. All right. Finally made it to Denver. Bugs are horrible. My windshield is covered. Oh, if you're driving up in the mountains or near a river, yeah, you're gonna need to get extra washer fluid. Make sure you get the bug dissolving washer fluid. Oh, the other thing, okay, farmer, if you're listening to this, if you're listening while driving, that's kind of cool. If you're listening to this, when you're in Denver, when you're in Colorado, this is a 32-ounce tumbler. Drink water like it's your fucking job. If you wake up and have a headache, it's because you're dehydrated. You cannot drink enough water. You're like, but I'll pee all the time. No, it's just like it's a high desert, right? It's incredibly dry in the altitude. All the headaches and shit. It took me 2 years to crack this. I would wake up and just have these ripping headaches, and I don't have headaches. Water. If I didn't drink enough water, if I skip it at night, I'm in trouble. All right, Kyle, aiLL Balloon Boy. I'm the Balloon Boy. I'm rooting for Djokovic. I know, I like Djokovic too, but I gotta say this. Alcaraz is just a machine. And actually, did you see there was an interview with Djokovic after the French? It was after the French, I think. And he was just like, the dude's relentless. Like fucking calm down, Alcaraz. Djokovic was saying that. He just keeps coming. He just keeps coming. And this new kid, Ben Shelton, is just like that, right? So two 20-year-olds that are like, they're both like, 6 foot plus beasts that, have crazy serves and crazy game. And then Djokovic, man, I don't know. He's like, the fact that he is just on this run is just amazing. What hope is there for writers, actors, etc. if they don't get a ban on AI in their fields? So, Ashu, it's a great point. They're not going to get a ban. They're not going to get a ban. Here, the problem. So here's the deal. These tools, not that tool, not the balloon, but these tools, these AI tools, all of them, are not going to be uninvented, and they are going to be incorporated in everything we do. They're going to be incorporated in all the writing programs, in all the spreadsheet programs, in all the note-taking programs, in all the film editing programs, and all the photo editing programs. It's going to be ubiquitous. It's going to be everywhere. So you can't escape it. And it would be the equivalent of when films were shot on film, why they're called films. When digital cameras came out, the cinematographers likely said, that's not real film, right? That's not real cinema. So cinematographers only use film cameras. We're never going to use digital cameras. Well, now we do, right? Every single time a new technology comes out, the existing creative class says, fuck that. That's not real art. When the daguerreotype came out in the mid-1800s, painters were offended and said, painting is over. That's not real art, but everyone's just going to click the button and take the picture, and that's not real art. And photography took a long time to be assimilated into the art world and considered an actual art form. Every single time a new technology comes along, it's the same argument. There is no stopping it. You will not be able to block it, because here's what's going to happen. Let's say that SAG and the WGA get what they want, and they get the big studios, Sony and Universal and, whoever the fuck the conglomerates are now. They're all owned by BlackRock anyway, I assume. And they all agree, we're never going to use AI to make a film. I don't think that's going to happen, but let's say that happens. What's going to happen is a bunch of idiots and irregulars from this channel are going to be like, oh, we were playing with Runway ML, and then like 5 years later, they're going to be the best at whatever Runway ML becomes. And some filmmakers are going to emerge that don't know how to make films the old way, like with Final Cut Pro and with cameras and shit like that. There's going to be filmmakers that emerge that just make things, right? And they're going to get so good that some of those films are going to get popular. And then they're going to get together with their friends and they're going to put together what's the equivalent of a studio. So 5 years from now, there's going to be some, like Netflix started out sending DVDs in the mail, and they're now a major production entity, right? How did that happen? Something similar is going to happen with this AI shit, that even if the big studios say, we'll never use AI, there's going to be a whole creative class that emerges that only uses AI. And they're going to create competitive entities that will just obliterate because they're going to be able to make content faster, better, more personalized. Now, is that depressing? Fuck yes, it's depressing. So what do? Well, that's why this channel exists. You go start it, rather than saying AI is evil, I'm never going to use AI, which is what a lot of the creative class is doing right now. The ones that I know that are not doing that, they go in here, they start playing with it, they go, oh fuck, what do I do now? And then they keep playing and they keep figuring it out. And what happens is this. Really good actors will figure out ways to leverage this stuff that are better than people that were non-actors. Same with writers. Writers that amplify their talents with these tools are going to be better than non-writers who write screenplays with these tools. Creative professionals are creative professionals, right? And how you use the tools creatively is what makes you a creative. Now, what's filmmaking going to look like in 5 years? I don't fucking know, but it isn't going to look like what it looks like now. There will be some productions. Yeah, howdy, partner. Life's tough. It's tougher if you're stupid. All right. There will be some production companies that keep doing things the way they are, and there's going to be a hunger for that kind of filmmaking. But there's going to be this whole other kind of filmmaking. If I'm a creative professional, why would I not want to use the tools that are the future of the industry? Why would I not start learning about them now? Because if I become the best of the new kind of filmmaking, I'm going to have a career for myself. Because you still got to make shit, right? You still have to have taste. You still have to have refinement and curation and critical thinking and creative thinking. These are just fucking tools. So I don't know. Like, there's not a good answer to it. And here's the deal. It's not just relegated to actors and writers. It's special effects people. It's knowledge workers of all kinds. It's consultants. It's data analysts. Like, every fucking industry that's computer mediated is going to be disrupted by this shit. Every single one. I can't, there is no possible future I see where this stuff gets uninvented and it doesn't, get absorbed into the system and completely transform what work is and how people work and what they do and what's valued. So everyone is going to have to reinvent themselves. We're in for some shit. And I think 5 years out, it's going to be okay because there's going to be entirely new categories of jobs we can't even imagine today that will be created because of this technology. But between now and that 5 year time, that gap of 2 to 3 years, kind of starting, I don't know, let's go this time next summer for the next 3 years after that, it's going to be a fucking shit show. And I don't know how you get on. I don't think you can avoid it. But it ain't just actors and writers. It's everyone. So sleep tight. What'd you do tonight? I got really depressed. This guy talks about AI. It's all fucked. It's like the robots are not going to kill us. The robots are we're going to use the robots to find ever increasing, ever efficient ways. It's like every person that leverages these tools is going to be able to do more, better work. More and better, right? There's this adage in the ad world where, you can have something fast, good, or cheap. Choose any two, right? You can have it fast and good, but it's not cheap. You can have it fast and cheap, but it's not good, right? With these tools, you can have all three. And then you can even probably increase the quality of where you thought you could or decrease the cost, right? Like, what are the implications of that? I don't know. The piece that I've got not a fucking clue about is what does it look like? All I know is it's going to be different. And it will be the people who fucking hang out here and geek out, or not just here, but just sort of hang out in this mindset of, okay, fuck it, this is an adventure. And I'm going to fucking go on the adventure. There's some large fire-breathing animal that seems to be killing the villagers, and it scares the shit out of me, but you know what? I'm gonna go figure out what this thing is, right? Called to adventure, right? What is the dragon? I don't know. Can we slay the dragon? I don't know. But let's get together, like 5 of us, with our little torches, and you're good with a bow, I'm good with a sword. Jesse over there's great with magic. Far out, let's go. And you get into the woods, and the first thing you come up against is a torrential river, and you have to cross the river, and you can't. How do you cross the river? I don't fucking know. I'm scared. This is miserable. And you figure out a way to cross the river. That's what we're in the middle of. And so the people that go on that adventure are going to be rewarded. Now, will some of them maybe get killed by the big bad, heathen elf? Possibly. But I think it's the only way through. It's just fucking nuts. And again, like where I sit, it is incredibly rare in human history to be alive at the beginning of a transformative technological era. It's incredibly rare. And we've had multiple of them in the 20th and 21st century. I've had 3 in my life: personal computers, World Wide Web, generative AI. Those are the 3 I think are big. And I think this one's the biggest of all of them by a lot. I'm in Minnesota and know the Frankens. Gosh darn it, people like us. That's awesome. I can tap or type, but not both, not simultaneously. Awesome. I'm 37 messages behind, so it's not too bad. Yep, not even Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad. Yeah, like Aaron Paul, like no one's getting royalties. Like, yeah, I saw him interviewed Shane. Aaron Paul got interviewed. We probably saw the same interview where he's like, he's not getting any royalties from Breaking Bad. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how much money Breaking Bad made Netflix? And he's not getting any royalties. So they've got plenty that they can get in this contract. And they can probably get something around AI, right? They can get something around, creating a mechanism for licensing their own likeness, right? That's where I think if you paid attention when the Drake and Weeknd song came out and it got popular and people talked about, oh, this is AI generated and blah, blah, blah. And it got all these views, and then Spotify took it down. About a week after that, Grimes, Elon Musk's ex, the musician, put out a press release and said, do anything you want with my likeness. Make all the music you want using my voice, whatever. Just give me 50%. I think it's a brilliant move because what she recognized is that they're going to do it anyway, right? And if you fight that, who are you fighting? Are you fighting big corporate machines? Well, that's going to be one group you're fighting. You know how else you're going to be fighting? Your fan base. If you're a musician that's popular and you've got fans that have embraced this shit and they start making fan-generated music that turns out to be a hit, what are you going to do? Sue your fans? Some are. But Grimes is like, fuck it. Go celebrate my likeness. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. Give me 50%. And you know what? People will. They're going to generate good stuff. And like that to me feels like the future. Like imagine creating a talent agency centered around that idea. Let's get artists everything we can so that when all this stuff happens, let's make it really easy for fans to generate that kind of content and get the artists paid for it. And get the fan paid for it. Why not? Because it's going to happen anyway. Like again, a lot of times people will come in here and they'll sort of pass judgment on it. Well, what do you think about the ethics of this and the ethics of that? I'm like, I'm in no position to sort of pass judgment in any way. All I'm looking at is what's going to happen. And like, are you slowing this stuff down? No. Are you stopping it? No. If the tools are super easy to be able to make a song that sounds just like James Taylor when he was in his 20s, and I can write an infinite amount of James Taylor songs that, just for me personally, that I fucking love, and I put them on some sharing service, and one of those turns into a new hit, why would I not do that? Everyone's going to do that. We're entering a world of hyper-personalization and infinite content generation. I want a song that has the depth of Rage Against the Machine and the lyrical sweetness of James Taylor. And I want it now, and I want him talking about my chubby dog Champ. Play. And it'll just start being James Taylor singing about my dog Champ with really deep Rage Against the Machine lyrics. I love this song, and I listen to it every day for 2 weeks, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put it on that site where you can share shitty cloned music. And you put it on the site, and then all of a sudden, it becomes a hit. That's coming. What do? Do you fight it? Do you tell Sony Music they can't ever synthesize a voice? Do you think Sony Music's going to give a fuck? They're not. Of course they're going to synthesize it. You know what else Sony Music's going to do? They're going to sign artists that are AI artists. And they'll find some fucking loophole where they'll put it off in a different subsidiary. So, anyway, I know it's fucking depressing, but it's also, think about it. Like, the fucking opportunities here are insane. They're absolutely fucking insane. In a gold rush, invest in the picks and shovels. Indeed. Kyle, that's a really well-thought response to investing in AI for an actor. Exactly. What are your qualifications, sir? I would really like to know your qualifications. What are your qualifications? Oh, Alcaraz plays Medvedev. Cool. So Ben Shelton against... So Alcaraz is beating Medvedev. There's just not a question there. And yeah, I think Djokovic is gonna, maybe Ben Shelton takes him to 5 sets, but Djokovic is he's just too mentally, he's a fucking machine. He's just a machine. And it's at this level of the sport, like when you're in the when you're in the semis, this is almost got nothing to do with physical ability, right? This is almost all mental. Because why are all the same people always in the finals? Because it ain't about the racket; it's about the brain. It's just like these. It ain't about the racket. It's about what we decide to do with it. You know, I haven't done this tonight.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
It ain't about making money with ChatGPT. It's about you figuring out some problem to solve in the world where you use ChatGPT. Thank you, Winston. Oh, level 11 for Winston. Boom. You figure out something you want to make better in the world using ChatGPT and get people to pay you money to do that. That's how you make money with ChatGPT. You don't lead with the technology. It ain't about the racket. It's about the game. What's the game you're playing? Where's your head? Are you thinking more cleverly than the next guy? Then you'll do fine. If you're not, you're not. All right. Infrastructure, storage, compute, data centers will be the winners. Yeah, that's that's why I'm flabbergasted that Nvidia has no competition. AMD's the only one really trying to break in, but like none of their software doesn't work according to George Hotz. I was watching an interview with him. He's trying to incorporate AMD GPU chips and just the fucking software drivers don't work. It's like, how did someone let Nvidia get this far ahead? Like, how is it even fucking possible? It is. Oh, they can have the gamers. Oh, they just got the crypto bros. Yeah, whatever. Oh, shit. AI is really cool, too. Oh, man, we want to be in there. What do we do? I don't know. Fucking crazy to me. What 3 AI services would you recommend for online marketing? That's one. Canva, because you can do that automated image generation shit. So you just go write all your copy here. You get good at prompting. You could use things like Jasper and Copy AI. But like right now, like I feel like all you're doing there is kind of offloading your understanding of what's possible to someone else. Like, I don't know, it feels a little early to me to be leaning on sort of pre-written prompt libraries, which is essentially what they are. So I would do ChatGPT, I would do Canva, and I would do Midjourney. Or now, I would probably do, it would be four. It would be four. It would be ChatGPT, Midjourney, Ideogram, because it does the text, and then Canva, because you can just fucking produce a bunch of shit. Yeah, that's what I do right now. But I guarantee you 3 months from now, that list is going to be different. Like, don't think that anything that you do right now, anything that you learn right now is going to be relevant 6 months from now. It's not. All the tools are going to be different. I sell tech market research to Wall Street and other tech investors. Interesting times. No shit, isn't it? Like, it's fascinating times. Tech market research. Like, how do you research? I mean, these tools are fundamentally changing how everyone, including engineers and IT people, all of them, these tools are changing how we interact with computers, how we even think about programming and what programming is. Right now, today, it still looks a lot like programming. They're pair programming with GitHub Copilot, so it's making them more efficient, but they're still kind of approaching it the way they normally approach it. But when these things start to get sophisticated enough that you actually don't need to code, and we're close, go play with ChatGPT's code interpreter, the advanced data analytics, and just watch it write its own code and execute it, and then realize it fucked it up and rewrite it, and do that until it gets it right. Just go watch that. And now imagine that 5 years from now. So what is even programming going to look like? I don't know. I think programming looks like, I want the computer to do this. And then the computer goes, okay. And it goes and does it. So how do you, I don't know how you predict. What do you predict in that future? Other than, you got to be in the game. Like, got to play to win. Got to be in the game. Got to be in the game. Got to be in the game. What's that mean? I don't fucking know. It means be curious, be adventurous. You're on a fucking adventure. It's dark in the woods. It's dark in the forest. There are scary things. There are poisonous animals. I don't want to be in the forest. Okay, well, do you want the whole village to get killed? No. Okay, then be in the forest. Go figure out how to kill the dragon. It's the only way. It's the only way through, I think. I wish there were another way. But holy shit. Amazing times. Really amazing times. Like, profound times. And here's what's, we talk about, we're lucky to be a part of it this early. Many people have never even heard of ChatGPT. They don't know what this shit is. They're not interested in it. They don't give a shit. Meow. What's wrong, Chimpy? You want to go out? There you go. Yeah, I mean, like this is like we're in an amazingly privileged position if you're willing to be open to it, to be actively participating at whatever level you can. Like, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be a data scientist. You don't have to be an engineer to be engaged with this stuff. You could be using ChatGPT to help your church group do the bake sale better. And you're still in a remarkably privileged situation to have an awareness that these tools exist before the tsunami wave actually hits. Because anyone who's actively engaged has just massive opportunity in front of them. I know it doesn't feel like that right now, but you're like, but Kyle, they lie and they're not perfect and they're this and they're that and they're janky pieces of shit. Yeah. Today. 3 years. Where were these things 3 years ago? You had to be an engineer. There was an API for GPT-3. Well, 3 years ago it was GPT-2, which kind of sucked. GPT-3 was the first one that was good. That was 2 years ago. 9 months ago was ChatGPT. 7 months ago was GPT-4. This fall is going to be Gemini, and probably May of 24 is going to be GPT-5. Apple's going to do something by that. Like, what's this shit going to look like a year from now? Holy shit. So if you think you're behind, you ain't behind. You ain't behind at all. The fact that you're spending a Wednesday night, 50 people are spending a Wednesday night, listen to some old fat fuck on TikTok ramble about this shit. You're going to have opportunity. So, I don't know. An irregular creative. It should be lawyers, judges, doctors. I agree. Really enjoy your content, learning AI. Thank you, Jesse from Austin. I appreciate that. I'm a shit copywriter. ChatGPT makes me look really good. Just a tool. Exactly, Shane. If you're a great copywriter, this will amplify that. If you're a shitty copywriter, this will make it better, right? If you don't know copy at all, like, I'm a good photographer. I'm a good writer. I'm a shit illustrator and designer. Not anymore. Not anymore. Life has always been can't beat him or join him or get left behind. Yeah, exactly. Yep. We can cross the I don't know what that means. Oh, cross the river with lots of turtles. Exactly. Exactly, Winston. That's fucking awesome. We'll be buying and selling self-insurance. That's actually interesting, Shane. So I was thinking about this the other day. Every employee, think about this. So one of the things that these things do is you can take any data from a business, you can embed it and GPTize it, right? So we're going to be able to take any data that exists and toss it into a large language model and then be able to do remarkable shit with it. As these tools get more sophisticated, you're going to be able to take like all the emails you've ever written and just be able to interact with all that shit. Every employer is going to be able to take the collective output of all of the employees in their history, take all their Word documents, their Excel documents, the programs they wrote, the shit they wrote, the marketing copy that they did. And within there's going to be some gems that they create applications out of your work. So just like the SAG actors are fighting for, hey, they're going to take my likeness and turn that into acting. Well, in a business context, IBM's going to take employee 6257's lifetime of work and turn that into a cool application that they're going to monetize. Does employee 6527 get any of that money? Do we all need agents? Maybe. Because you can exploit any data easily with these tools. What's any data? I don't know. Anything you've ever done. For a company, for this company, for that company. Depending on your employment agreement, you may or may not own the rights to shit you do. If you do own the rights and they monetize stuff based on your work, is there profit sharing? I don't know. It's fascinating. Crazy. I want a parody song of Celebrity by Brad Paisley. It's my bedtime in Michigan. Oh, and it's 64 degrees. What is it here? It is 73. All right. Listen, I got to go, everybody. I'm going to jump to the bottom here. I'm tired. I know this one got philosophical tonight, but that's the deal. Like, I just try to respond to what the comments are, and kind of what's going on with me. This is deep shit. This is deep stuff, and I know that the tools are exciting and it's all fun, but this is I don't know. This is why I'm spending so much time doing this, because I want to keep talking about it, because I think it's important to talk about it and understand what's coming. So anyway, Vicky loves the philosophical ones. Thank you. So let's do a little romper room tonight. All right, who's in here? We got some good ones. We got some of the irregulars. Okay, Farmer, welcome to Denver. Congratulations on a safe trip. Glad you're here. Share Bear, Emilio's wife, Tobias. Shane, thanks for commenting tonight. Winston, good to see you. Steve-O's in the house. Cavruno. HubSpot is getting AI. Everything's going to get AI. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be everywhere. Ted looks at life. Thank you for tonight. Thank you for participating. Vicky. All right. Rebecca Johnson, good to see you. All right, everybody. Peace out. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, look, the machine just went to sleep. Perfect timing. Peace.